First of all, we want to give honor to the Lord God of heaven, the great God that keepeth covenants of mercies for them that love him and observe his commandments. And then to his son, who is our King, our Savior, our high priest of our profession, the great whom the Father used to reconcile us back to him. We thank God for him. And then everybody that's with us, elders, mothers, brothers, sisters, even down to the young children, those online, all the partakers of the heavenly calling, we thank God for each and every one of you. Once again, happy Sabbath Eve. Yeah, like Sabbath. Happy Sabbath Eve, all. Happy Sabbath Eve. All right. So we are going to continue. All right. Exodus 20. We are going. Oh, I didn't pull it up yet. I'm sorry. Exodus chapter 20. So remember what happened in the last chapter? There was some preparation before this happens, which is very important to look at and understand. Get there. So he told you, Most High is saying, how I bear you on eagle's wings and brought you unto myself. And then he's talking about what? If you obey my voice indeed and keep my covenants, then you shall be a peculiar treasure. Okay. So it says, keep my covenants, and ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine. All right. So basically, this is how we was enter into a covenant with the Most High. All right. So he's prepping that. We said, you know what, we'll agree, we'll do what you tell us to do. And then let me see. So remember now, Most High is coming down. He said he's gonna basically come. He's gonna bring his glory. His glory is gonna come down, and we realize that as a thick cloud, that is the glory he is dealing with. Okay, and they blow the trumpets and the smokes, and nothing can touch it. All those kind of things. All right. Now it says in verse 25. So Moses went down to the people and spake unto them. Okay. And that's going to lead us right here. Exodus chapter 20. Exodus chapter 20. All right. Let's do the first two, and then we'll start walking it down, and I'll start opening it up for everybody.
And God spake all these words, saying, I'm Yahweh thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
All right. So hold on real quick. Let me see if this is working. Sorry about that. So yes, so Yahweh spake all these words saying, right? So he's going to be speaking these words, Most High. We're not going to get into the depth of that, but I am Yahweh thy God, all right, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. Okay. So why do he introduce himself like that? Well, maybe I should have asked it differently. All right. But the Most High is introducing himself, right? Why is this important, beloved? Why do you think he even starting off with that? Why do you think he's starting off with the I am Yahweh thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt? Why is he doing that? Brother Kai?
Because they had never heard the voice of no other God.
So it can be I won't say a shock factor, but it can be doing that. So he's speaking. They hear an audible voice. All right. They didn't really deal with that with other gods. All right. If they did, it's usually like, some priest or something probably tricking them and acting like and throwing their voice. All right. So he's bringing down that aspect. So we're about to, why did he say, you know what? Yeah, with like God, first of all, he introduces himself. That's the big thing. Introduce himself. I want you to know who I am, the God that you're dealing with. Okay. I have brought thee out of the land of Egypt. He's telling you, I did this. I don't want you to get mixed up with anything else because we're going to see as we walk down. There's something very important with this God. I want you to know that I did it, and what I did, I brought you out. So what you are, who you, all that kind of stuff, it is me that did it. Okay, out of the house of bondage. Just in case they didn't, just in case somebody might have been thinking this was Moses, right? Because remember, some people probably thinking Moses doing this. Okay, so he's putting that calling card. So the same thing, even when we go to the, they call the Lord's Prayer in the New Testament, right? So our Father, right? So you understand, listen, it's all of our fathers, which art in heaven, all right? To in his dwelling place. These kind of things, it might seem simplistic, right? But remember, you had gods, and all the gods, even in the pagan, I'm talking about the pagan world, gods, they weren't always in what? Heaven. They got God for here, there, and everywhere. Okay. So he's giving that this God, this is where our God dwells. He dwells up there. Okay. All right. Let's walk it down. Let's go to first 3 and 4, and then I'll open it up. 3 and 4, and we can open it up.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth.
All right. What do we have for that, beloved? What do we have for that? So whether I'm going to open it up for every commandment, whether you want to explain what it means to you, whether you have a verse, maybe another verse that's saying the same thing, or you have an explanation, anything like that. You can expound on it however you feel comfortable with. Okay. And like I said, this is a study class, it's a Bible class, right? Studying. So don't be afraid to even be wrong. Okay. But also, we're here to share knowledge, right? Because these things, I'm going to just give you a little insight. Some of these things have there's several different ways where these laws are. It ain't just particularly just think about the 10 and all right, just 10 things. There are 10, but it's a lot of things connected with the 10. If you truly understand the 10, it's way broader than we think. All right. But all right. So anybody got anything for verse 3 or 4? 3 or 4. What is the Most High trying to tell us?
He's trying to tell us
Echo on that one.
sorry about that.
It's fine.
He's trying to let us know that we need to always remember he's the one that brings us out of our trouble, tribulations. He was the one that led them out of Egypt. So we shouldn't, Israelites shouldn't, and that goes for us too now, that we should never put anything before him.
Good point. So starting off with you should have no other gods. There's nobody. Mother Val said beautiful. There ain't nobody else. It's me. I did it by myself. Okay. And also another point with that, let me stop talking. All right. What else we got? Anybody got anything to add to that? All right. Verse 3 or 4. What we got? So there's look at 2 aspects with it. All right. So thou shalt have no other gods, saying you shouldn't have no other entity or power before me. Okay. So the meaning he gets top priority. All right. Nothing should take priority over him. Now, what people fail to realize, or they look at it as they're dealing with other entities, as in, oh, it's talking about not having Zeus over you and all these kind of things, or, you know, Poseidon, right? First of all, we should have understanding that those are not real gods, all right? This is imaginations of men that kind of create those things. So there's only one true God, but also, beloved, we can make gods, okay? Because gods is dealing with, it can be what? Your imagination of what you put in a power or something over the Most High. So money can be a god to certain individuals. Money alone is nothing, but you can make it a god, all right? Relationships, you can make your partner a god. You can make food a god. You can make your car, you know, any entity you want to grab, you can make that a god, okay? So it's having nothing to go, right? Nothing to be prioritized above our God. And we got to really think about that. Because of a lot of excuses that we have is because what? We feel that something should prioritize above serving God. And we understand the commandments. Okay. So thou shalt have no other gods before me. Okay. And, and like I said, this is not saying, well, I have God number one, but then I have my, you know, Buddha doll and, you know, a God too, but I just don't no, can't do that, beloved. Right? Because when you understand this God, you understand that he don't want to deal with there's no other things you should be dealing with but him. Verse 4, thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Okay. So we cannot what? Make. All right. We had a lesson on idols. They were make graven images. Okay. Or any likeness, listen, of anything that's in heaven above. What do we see a lot of the images are? Things of heaven above, right? The sun, that's the sun, the moon, the stars, the cloud. The rainbow can probably count as that, right? Birds, because once y'all got the air, that's can be considered heaven, right? The fowls of the air, they're in heaven. So all those things, images that we make. Okay. So like this, anything that's in heaven above or and, all right, or and that is in the earth beneath. Okay. So things that's on the earth. One of the things we're going to run into, they made literally an idol that was what? From the earth. But remember what that idol was. What's the idol Israel made?
Exodus 32.
He gonna give it to us. All right, let's go to it real quick. Just because Brother Kai did. I would just went what the animal was, you know, but it's even better so you can see it right now. Okay. Exodus 32. You can read us the verse. I just want to go right to the point.
Sure.
Yeah, verse 4, there it is.
And he received them at their
Hold
hand.
on. I'm sorry, Brother Kai. Give me verse 1 so we can see that what this thing was considered. Okay. 32.
And when the people saw that Moses delayed to come down out of the mount, the people gathered themselves together unto Aaron and said unto him, Up, make us gods, which shall go before us. For as this Moses, the man that brought us up out of the land of Egypt, we wot not what is become of him.
All right. So this is something that's twofold to learn from this part right here. That sometimes we had. All right, no, I don't want to go that route right now. Okay. All right, we go back. So listen, they said, make us gods. Listen what they said. Make us gods. Okay. Listen what we consider gods. Make us gods. To what? Shall go before us. That's not make no other gods, you know. Go before us. Let's make a God that will what? Be our direction, what we, you know, put our trust in, those kind of things. This is what he's asking. All right. We could jump down to verse 4.
He received them at their hand and fashioned it with a graven tool, after he had made it a molten calf. And they said, These be thy gods, O Israel, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt.
All right. So if we didn't read other verses, but they was basically taking the earrings out of their ears and everything. They was like putting all of it and melting everything. And then when they melted that gold, they shaped it into what? A calf. And they said, this be the gods that brought us out. This what brought us out of Egypt. Okay. We had a very bad case of idolatry, beloved. All right. There's a lot of idolatry. So when we look at this, this was a problem. They made, so when you make it something, you can make it. And he said, we're going to worship it. It wasn't just that they made something of gold. I want y'all to get it right. Because remember, they had earrings and stuff like that. Certain things could be of gold, but what pushed it as their gods? They put the emphasis that this is now going to be a god. Okay. So they said, these be the gods of Israel, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. So now they made this image that they made and saying, this is a god. Okay. Putting that emphasis behind it. You make something and start bowing to it, and I'm going to pray to it, and it's going to bring me strength. You have put it into a realm that it's not supposed to be in, because these things do not have power. Okay. So this is why it's a big no-no. Brother Kai, was there anything else you wanted to grab from here?
No, that was it.
Perfect. All right. Anybody got anything for verse 4?
Yeah, and it was just an example of them having other gods, before him. That's what Brother Mike just illustrated.
All right. So verse 4, what's that last part? And the waters under the earth. So fish, all that kind of stuff in the seas, people make things like that. All right. So we see that people make all kinds of things and images out of everything. All right. But the Kai, give us 5 and 6. 5 and 6.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
All right. Anybody got anything for that? 5 and 6. Brother Kai, hold on. Just watch the class right now, 5 and 6. Something happened outside, so let me check on that. All right. Sorry about that, beloved. All right. Anybody with 5 or 6, right? What does verse 5 say? Can you read verse 5 again for us, Brother Kai? Verse 5.
Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them. For I, Yahweh, thy power, am a jealous power, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me.
So verse 5. What do we think verse 5 is telling us? I know somebody knows. What is verse 5 telling us? Go ahead, Brother Kai.
Basically, that's pretty much self-explanatory. He's saying don't bow down to them, meaning don't worship them, nor serve them. Meaning whatever ordinances they have, and the heathen got some ordinance to their gods, is sacrificing children to the fire, going to worship under groves, which is a group of trees, all type of things, whatever pertain to that particular god or gods, don't serve them, don't do that. He's saying, for I, Yahweh, thy power and jealous power, meaning if you do those things are going to make me jealous, right? Visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the third and fourth generation of them that hate me. So if you do those things, you are showing Yahweh that you hate him, and he will visit your iniquity for
it. Beautifully said. Can't add or take away from that. All right. Don't believe so, Brother Kai. What about I don't bow down myself to him? Right? People think, oh, well, I didn't bow down and bow my knee to it. That second part that Brother Kai said is very important. Serve him. Whatever was it obeisance? I forgot what that word is, but anything that's showing servitude or acknowledging, can't do. All right. This is why some of these holidays, right, when they're honoring certain things that's like a god, right? You ain't supposed to be. You're supposed to stay far from those things. You should not be observing those things.
That's right.
Right? Because like observing that God. You don't gotta call upon or anything like that. You don't gotta. You can say, "Oh, I don't see it as that," but why would you do the observance of it if it don't matter? Right? You got Christmas. Oh, I don't believe in Santa Claus, but you know this whole thing is what? You know it's dealing with that. I just like giving gifts. Then just give a gift. Give a gift to your kids. Believe me. You ask a kid, do they care when they get the gift? They don't care. We're tied with the tradition of how they do that. And that's why. That's the issue. It ain't even with the kids, it's us. So this is why we deal with Santa Claus. Listen, beloved, this is just, and I'm just using this, I don't like getting some knowledge, but just to make a clear point. When we're doing that, we're acknowledging that, look, Santa Claus, this obese guy, right, is going around all over the world in one night. And we know you can't do that. Even with an airplane, go to every house. I don't care what it is. Only a God can go through every house throughout the world. But we're saying this entity is going through all out the world, and he's just on the reindeers. He's traveling through that and getting to everybody's house. He knows if you've been good or bad, you're nice. But y'all gonna tell me this ain't no kind of worship. Is it true or is it a lie? Scripture tells you can't get something, you can't pull out evil from good. You can't get something clean from unclean thing. But we try to prove God wrong constantly with these things. Instead of making all these excuses, we should submit to the Most High. Lord, I'm sorry. My forefathers have gone astray, and we got caught up in this thing. Lord, forgive me. Forgive my family. Have mercy and show me the right way. But them holidays have a stronghold on us. But we have to look at it as this is idolatry.
Sure.
You put somebody on that level, that's idolatry. You can't have somebody going around the whole. I don't understand it. Do y'all understand? You can't say it's not. You can't say, oh, it's just no. You're telling and teaching that this can happen, that this is what one person can do. Can't do that, beloved. Okay? And to uphold that, you have to let go of the truth. You got to let go of this God to uphold that thought. Because really it's an idol. Okay? Somebody have fashioned this man in their own mind and told the lie so much that you think it's the truth. And that's the thing you got to worry about. Some people can tell a lie so much, so convincing that you will actually think it's the truth. And then somebody tell the truth, got to go through all this work to what? Unravel that lie. This is why I say don't learn the way of the heathens. All right. He's going to have to get a lot of talk, a lot of speaking. They'll do a lot of swelling words to convince you and captivate you with that lie. But the truth is simple. It's plain. Okay. So you should not bow down nor serve them. I'm not acknowledging it. If a kid asks you, is Santa Claus real? And you over there, well, how should I do it? Why are you battling a flat out lie? Okay. So this is the things why the Most High say, I want you to get away from that. Because if you struggling with that, then what? You got to be struggling with the Most High because you know he don't accept that. Okay. And we're going to get to a point where we're going to really get it. But I just want us to understand we can't serve it in any capacity. Okay. And acknowledging can be a point of serving it, right? But definitely, if you acknowledge that some false entity is somewhat real or relevant, then you are acknowledging the lie. And that would be like serving it. Okay. So you don't have to go down and lay, oh, great Santa, you don't have to do all that, but acknowledging the lie. Okay. You have now what? Went away from the Most High God and saying, Satan, I want you to be my father. And this is what Christ was dealing with in the New Testament. Saying, you of your father, the devil. He was a liar from the beginning, and guess what? He's going to continue being a liar. And you are just being what? Y'all just a bunch of little liars walking in his footsteps. Okay? So just be mindful, beloved. Okay? With these images, entities, these things, sometimes they appear harmless, but some people know what they're doing when they're doing this. So we have to make sure our spiritual eyes are being awakened and we're noticing these things because they're sliding things in very smooth, beloved. Okay. All right. Brother Kai, you read verse 6 as well, correct? All right. Can we read that one more time?
Absolutely. And showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments.
I love this part because the Most High always showing you that duality, right? So he's showing you what? I'm a what? Jealous God. Got that's the part I'm looking for. All right. Don't serve them. Don't bow down to them. I am jealous. You in a relationship, you don't want your man. If you're a woman, you don't want your man doing certain things. If you're a man, you don't want your woman doing certain things. You don't like it. You think it's somebody flirting with somebody else. You don't like that, do you? Most High saying the same thing. I don't want you even flirting with it. Oh, it was harmless. I don't need you flirting with that. Saying, I'm a jealous God. And he's so jealous, he do what? He'll visit the iniquities of the what? Fathers upon the children. How many generations? Third and fourth generations was getting affected by something that what? Foremother did. But there's verse 6. Because some people stop there. Fourth generation of them that hate me. I'll visit them that hate me, even down to the third or fourth generation. But what? I will show mercy unto thousands of them. But what's the condition? Love me and keep my commandments. Do we got any examples of how the Most High showed mercy to someone that kept his commandments? Do you have any examples? Any examples? Go ahead, Brother Kai. I'm sorry.
And you got Rahab the harlot, you got Noah. You got when Nebuchadnezzar invaded Jerusalem, the people that was keeping the commandments, they got spared, from the sword, and they got treated good in captivity. The New Testament through Christ, those that was obedient to the faith. I think Romans 1:16, it's all throughout the Bible. A lot of people think his mercy, was just, in the New Testament, but the Most High was always merciful and gracious to those that love him and keep his commandments. And we know, doing the complete opposite is actually showing the Most High that you hate him. That's why it says in the previous verse, visiting them that hate me. Oftentimes people don't come out and just say they hate the Most High. You know, even in Titus, it says, "Do they works they deny me." You know, being abominable into every good work, reprobate. Right. So, you know, when we are walking in our flesh, we are indeed showing the Most High that we hate Him. When we are keeping His commandments and walking upright, we are showing Him that we love Him. There's no way around it. I digress.
Find that Titus one, because that's a beautiful one that can really make the point of, you know,
Titus 1.
Titus 1. And since the team, and while I'm getting that one, what you had, sis? I seen your hand was up.
Ty done answered it all.
He did go through the whole all the scripts. I mean, he walked through the Bible with all of them, but
But like you said, it is throughout the Bible. Just to land back, to point one out, Exodus 34, when the covenant was renewed. And yeah. I mean, we can highlight verse 5 and 6 and 7, but we can read 1 through 7 as well. Yeah. It's all depending if the family have time.
we have time. Even if we don't finish all the segment, it's fine. I just want us to make sure we're taking our time with this. All right, Brother Kai, before we go to Titus, can we read 1 through 7 in Exodus chapter 34?
Absolutely. And Yahweh said unto Moses, Hew thee 2 tables of stone like unto the first, and I will write upon these tables the words that were in the first tables, which thou breakest. And be ready in the morning and come up in the morning unto Mount Sinai, and present thyself there to me in the top of the mount. And no man shall come with thee, neither that any man be seen throughout all the mount, neither that the flocks nor herds feed before the mount. And he hewed 2 tables of stone like unto the first. And Moses rose up early in the morning and went up unto Mount Sinai as Yahweh had commanded him, and took in his hand the 2 tables of stone. And Yahweh descended in the cloud and stood with him there and proclaimed the name of Yahweh.
Real quick, this is the point where we're gonna go into a few chapters from now, but this is the point of they're writing on the table. Because remember, right now in 20, they're just hearing it, but this is where they didn't actually get it written out till this point. Okay, so this talk about the 2 tables of stone and all that stuff. But all right, go ahead, bro.
Verse 6.
Yeah, 6 and up to 7.
Come. And Yahweh passed by before him and proclaimed, Yahweh God, merciful and gracious, long-suffering and abundant in goodness and truth, keeping mercy for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, and that will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children and upon the children's children unto the 3rd and 4th generation.
Come.
Yeah.
Praise.
Correlated with it, right? I love that. Keeping mercies. And this is some of the, we talk about the attributes and the characteristics of God. That verse 6 is real good. Merciful and gracious, long suffering, and abundance and goodness and truth. We think about some of these things, we should be able to, remember the New Testament talk about what? The fruit of the Spirit. See some correlations with that. All right. Because what? We have his spirit. So if you understand, and Paul's grabbing things, he's grabbing attributes of the Father and saying, if we got the same spirit as him, what's in the spirit? The spirit is the characteristics. So we're going to be just like him if we have his spirit dwelling on us and we are submitting to it. Okay. But the Most High is gracious. He's long suffering, all these things. And this is what I'm talking about. Because they say act like mercy just came in Matthew chapter 1. But it said, Lord God is what? Merciful and gracious. Been merciful. Always been. If not, we would have been done. Okay. Keeping mercies for thousands. Listen, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin. You know, I didn't think he was forgiving it and cleaning up even back then. What? And that by no means clear the guilty. Visit iniquity upon the fathers and upon the children. All right. So he just, oh, well, I ain't got to worry about that. Nope. That guilt was still passed down. Okay. But you can stop because everybody talk about them generational curses. We'll go to Titus right now, brother. talk about generational curses, but what about those spiritual generational curses, right? How can you stop that? By repenting and living holy. That thing can stop. Okay? But as long as we're doing wicked, we're passing that. Our children can be influenced by those things. But if you want that stop, that's the best generational curse and everything to stop. Is dealing with sin. All right? And when we repent, we acknowledge the Son and what his sacrifice was that the Father sent him to do, and we start living this thing, it will stop immediately. All right, Brother Kai, Titus chapter 1. And
I'm good. 15. Okay, it says, unto the pure, all things are pure, but unto them that are defiled and unbelieving is nothing pure, but even their mind and conscience is defiled. They profess that they know God, but in works they deny him, being abominable and disobedient, and unto every good work reprobate.
So this is what I was saying, this day and age, this is more the thing you got to look for. People professing they know God, but in their works that they tell you don't got to worry about, they what? What are their works? They're what? It says being abominable and disobedient. So if you see somebody being abominable, doing abominable things, being disobedient, all right, their works is showing that what? They're denying that this is the what? They know God. Okay, so it's bigger than just, oh, I know God and all that stuff. I know he's real. No, if you really know he's real, your life is going to reflect that. Okay. If you saying he's real and you stealing and robbing and, killing and bearing false witness stuff, no, you don't know him. You heard about him. You don't know. You don't know. Okay. All right. Good precept, brother. And sis, that was a precept in Exodus as well. All right. So unto them showing mercy unto the thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. All right. The same thing. Even when Christ came, what he's saying, if ye love me, you will keep my commandments. Because what? He said, I only came with what my Father told me to say. So if you love me, right, you only people that's going to love Christ is what? Those that's what? Doing what he says. Because in all nationality, that's what his Father says. So it's the same thing. Packaged a little different, right? But it's the same thing, same principle, beloved. All right. What's that mercy? That's that forgiveness. That's that grace, all those kind of things. But that's going to be when what? You love them. And how do you know you love them? And this is for us, beloved. He knows if we love him or not already. But how can we measure if we love him? By keeping his commandments. Look at those commandments and see if you're reflecting them. If you reflect them, you can make that claim that you love them. If you're not, then you don't need to make that claim. You just say, Lord, give me strength. Help me be stronger. Because some of us, we desire to love you, Lord. We desire it. But help me where I'm weak. Sometimes we need some strength. You can be honest with the Most High. There's times like, oh, Lord, strengthen me. Because sometimes we know what we should be doing, but we just don't have the strength to do it. Go and call upon the Father. Okay? All right. Anybody else got anything for 5 or 6? Anybody got anything for 5 or 6? All right. Let's keep it going. Let's go to 7 and then let's read 7, then we'll do the Sabbath thing.
Thou should not take the name of Yahweh thy power in vain, for Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain.
So, taking his name in vain. Anybody got anything for taking his name in vain? This is the team. What you got, sis?
When I was in the Baptist church, I used to think taking his name in vain was saying his name, just saying God. Oh, you you blaspheming, you're taking his name in vain. They used to shun us for that because they used to say, oh, you taking his name in vain just by saying God or something like that. That was crazy. But that's all I had to say on that for right now.
No, that's a good one. I thousands of people heard the same thing. All right. So, all right. I will never say don't be careless with his name, of course. But that taking his name. All right. I want to take isolate that right now. Let's understand the taking his name in vain. All right. So taking his name, not in vain. Let's just say taking his name. How do you take his name? How do you take his name? This can get deep. Is that the same hand or a new hand? I'm sorry.
Who, me?
Yes, I don't know if that was a new hand or I never put
It's
the old.
probably the old one.
Okay.
But like taking his name to me means like Israel. Like you see a lot of names, the team about Israel. You know, Israel is his name. And the only way that you know that you're Israel is by the spirit that's within you through the Most High in Christ. Your spirit within you will let you know if you are Israel or not. Far as not just reading his word, but doing it. Your actions, your fruits will show if you're Israel or not. Anybody could take the name. All Israel is not Israel. But that spirit within you will show who you are. And if you have the mind of the Most High in Christ.
Yes. So I want us to think about also, even nowadays, when does somebody take somebody's name? When they're what?
Marriage.
Marriage. Okay. I want to just think of taking that name because this made a lot of beautiful points. So we take the name in marriage. Marriage is a what? Start with a it's a covenant. So when we're looking at this, remember, he just gave us Exodus 19, right? About you do this, this, and this, you'll be my people. We said we'll do. What just happened? We now enter into a covenant. He said you'll be what? My people. If you do this. We signed off saying, yes, we will do what you're saying. So we can be what? Your people. That we can what? That's how we took his name. Israel, yes, as a nation, we entered into the covenant. Okay? But it's those that made a covenant to what? You have to agree to take the name. Because like sister brought up, all Israel is not Israel. Right? And there was some heathens in there too as well, beloved. When I'm saying heathen, there's people from other nations. It wasn't just Israel alone. But as a full nation, it was just Israel, as the whole nation entered into it. Okay? So taking that name on is entering into the covenant. So just some random person saying, oh God, all that, they ain't taking, I won't put it like that, but it's almost like they're irrelevant. Not looking at them. Okay? They didn't agree to anything. If I'm married to my wife, right? Don't get mad at somebody else doing something. No, I made the covenant with her. Okay? We entered into a covenant. So the same thing, somebody randomly, it ain't dealing with that. It's dealing with somebody that took his name. They got into the covenant with him. Because when you enter into the covenant, now he's what? Say, I'm your God. You are mine. Okay? This is why he used the marriage symbolism all the time through the scriptures. So once you enter into that covenant, now you're taking on that name. Now, how do they take it in vain? He's always doing something relevant. He's not talking about them. Listen what he said. Remember, he's talking to who? He's dealing with, it's right here. Remember, I brought you out, I did all this stuff. He said, you don't take my name in vain. You should not be saying, you're my God. And everything. You doing that, you saying, okay, you taking my name now. Now, don't do it with what? For naught. How can we do it in vain? Okay. What you got, sis?
Malachi 6. I mean, emphasis on verse 11, but we can definitely read 9 through 11.
Wait, Malachi chapter what?
6. I meant Micah. I'm sorry. I got it. I'm on Micah. I'm talking about Malachi. My apologies.
Are you fine?
Micah chapter 6.
And what verse you wanted?
9 through wherever you guys feel like you can stop, but 9 through 11 definitely.
Yahweh's voice crieth unto the city, and the man of wisdom shall see thy name. Hear ye the rod, and who have appointed it. And there yet the treasures of wickedness in the house of the wicked, and the scant measure that is abominable. Shall I count them pure with the wicked balances, and with the bag of deceitful weights?
I'm not usually going.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty much Israel proposing to make up for her sins by offering sacrifices, but pretty much the Most High was like he told us back in Deuteronomy, he prefer obedience, spiritual people, than sacrifices, you know, and that's how you know that you are Israel, like you said, for the works. And that is that multitude, not just Israel, those who cling to Israel as well.
Yes. My part I grab is right above that. So awesome. It's good we see that. We want to get a verse before that, Brother Kai, because this is a great point. And because we can get caught up on the wrong thing sometimes, beloved, give me verse 8. But the context is dealing with the sacrifice. So this is definitely on point with it, right? You say you serving God, you can't be throwing up sacrifice for everything. Nope. Right? Y'all we bringing and doing some of these houses. Y'all, that's a sacrifice. I hope y'all don't think all sacrifice even killing something. You can bring sacrifice and offering without killing an animal. Okay? You observe these rituals, having the party, that can be a sacrifice, beloved. Okay? Give me verse 8.
He have shewed thee, O man, what is good, and what doth Yahweh require of thee, but to do justly, and to love mercy, and to walk humbly with thy God.
And that's all we have to do, beloved. Okay? When we took his name on, all we had to do was what? Do justly, do what's just, love mercy, because you see people don't talk about this. Supposed to love mercy, not be stingy with it and try to, I don't want to give to it. Supposed to love it and to walk humbly before God. Not puffed up, humbly. Not thinking, well, God gotta bless me. I'm just humbly. Okay. So this is a good spot, says, even showing the duality in it. Okay. So you take in his name, don't take it in vain. Don't take it and start offering all these wicked stuff. All right. Thou should take the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Why? For Yahweh will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. See, when we look at the taking the name part, then it's deeper than somebody to say, oh man, God darn it. Now I'm not proposing anybody still say it or do things like that, right? Because we do want to be mindful of our words and stuff like that. But it's deeper than just saying the name. It wasn't the name aspect they're thinking about. You're taking him. Okay? That understanding that I belong to him. Did you take that for naught? Because when we make a covenant with him, he said what? He will provide for us. He will protect us. Did you take that name? Did you enter that covenant for naught? Did you take him saying he will protect us and provide for us just for you could be so you could do things that are going to get you right out of his protection? Right? So that's the dealing with the really taking his name in vain. Why you want to get cleaned up just to jump back in the dirt, in the mud? Oh, this world is crazy. It's wickedness. Yes, it is. You guys all filthy. We all got filthy from this world. Now we went to repentance and Lord, clean us up. We want to be, we want to be with you. All right. We want your spirit and all this stuff. So he cleans us up. All right. He said, okay, you belong to me now. You're clean. And then what? You took on that name and said, you know what? I want to go back out and do what I want to do. So you got clean for nothing. All right. Took on his name for nothing. Saying you're his children, whatever you want to title yourself, you took it on for nothing. All right. Don't take his name in vain. I'll take us to one spot dealing with this as well. All right. For the Lord, I will not hold him guiltless that take his name in vain. So don't think you're going to escape. You go in there and turn back. And we even see that in the New Testament. It's like the dog, going back to his vomit. Right. And it's so bad because it's not a guarantee you'll get out. What did I say? Proverbs. It's in Proverbs. Top of my head, where's this thing at? 30? No, it's like 6 or 7. Yep. Proverbs chapter 30. Start at verse 6.
Add thou not unto his words, lest he reprove thee, and thou be found a liar.
I didn't even mean to do that one, but that's another one, beloved. Do not add. Right? We heard that remember in Revelation, don't add or take away. So we see even in the New Testament, the Old Testament, you ain't supposed to be add to his word. He say this, keep it at that. Don't be trying to add that extra stuff into it. All right. Give me verse 7. That's where it's starting.
2 things have I required of thee. Deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches. Feed me with food convenient for me.
All right, so listen, 2 things I require. Don't withhold these from me. He said, remove from me vanity and lies. All right, keep that away from me. How many of us pray for that? Remove the vanities and lies, all right? Some of us like them lies. Some of us like those vanities. That's why sometimes it's hard, we got to pray even for, to purge ourselves. A lot of things we fight is within, all right? So remove far from me vanities and lies. And listen what he's saying. Give me neither poverty nor riches, all right? Don't make me impoverished, right? When I'm broke. And he said, don't also make me rich. Okay, in the sense of it's a mindset that comes with riches. Okay, when you a rich man, basically don't have need of things. He can get everything he wants whenever he wants. He don't really have need. So it's a certain mindset that sometimes comes with riches. Not that if you're rich, it's wrong or it's sin. No, the Bible ain't saying that either. A lot of our forefathers had some money and was rich. Okay, but don't let that be above the Most High. Okay, so don't let me be poor nor rich. Feed me with food convenient for me. Give me what I need, right? Even our Lord's Prayer, give me my daily bread, okay? Give me what's suffice and sufficient for me. Not for my brother and sister, for me, okay? Now, listen to this part, verse 9. Read this slowly and clearly for us, Brother Kai. See if anybody catch it.
Lest I be full and deny thee, and say, who is Yahweh? At least I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain.
Right. So when you look at that, he's saying, I don't want to be full. That's what he's talking about, riches. I don't want to be so full that what? I'll deny you. Not saying I don't know God, but like, I don't need to be crying out and praying for him like everybody else do. I'm good. I got riches. This person paying for a house, and I got 30 of them. They pay for the food. I got boatloads of it, right? What I have need of him. Who's Yahweh? Who's this God that I have need of? I have everything. That's why he's saying, I don't want to ever get to that level. He said, Lord, don't give me the things that's going to even pervert my mind to think like that, okay? I don't want to be that fool because what? I want to always be in a hunger and thirsting after you. I don't want to get nothing that's going to take away my hunger and thirst of you. And some of us should thank God, because sometimes without the struggle, we wouldn't be what? Hungry and thirsty after him. See, people always telling us that these things are bad and wicked. No. Sometimes someone was never run into the Most High if the devil didn't, mess with it so much. That's when we realize we need him. Okay. So who is the Lord? And then listen to the second part. Or at least I be poor and steal and take the name of my God in vain. People are like, what are you talking about, poor and steal? Why would that be taking his name in vain? Because I was poor and I stole. Because what? Stealing is what? We didn't get to it yet, but it's breaking the commandment. That because you said, thou shalt not steal. You acknowledge that we not supposed to steal. The whole world didn't say they would agree to that, but we did. That get into this truth. Now, if you go and do the thing against what the Most High is saying, he said what? Now you're taking the name of my God in vain. Because you said we're gonna do what you say. And now we did that and went opposite. So that's a form of taking his name in vain. Mm-hmm. Cleaning us up to get dirty. Okay. So if you come to serve the Lord, serve the Lord. Don't take his name in vain. All right. He cleaned us up. He gave us the right spirit. He gave us the best of the spirit to say. All right. He gave us his best, like a true husband should give his best. Okay. So he gave us the best. Now don't break his heart. Don't commit, we'll say, spiritual fornication. Don't do things against him. All right. Anybody else had anything they wanted to add to that one? We can go deeper with some of these, but I'm just gonna keep some of mine to the surface. All right, Brother Kai, where we at?
Verse 8.
All right.
Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work.
Run it down to 11.
But the 7th day is the Sabbath of Yahweh thy power. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. For in 6 days Yahweh made heaven and earth, the sea, and all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore Yahweh blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it.
Right. Anybody got anything from 8 through 11?
I'll be right back, beloved.
Mm-hmm. All right. So we got the Sabbath, the famous Sabbath. Okay. Remember the Sabbath day, right? And one thing I always say, let's be particular and not be particular. Sometimes we got to be particular with these words, okay? Or just being watching them and listening to the terminology and stuff they're using. He used remember. He ain't used this prior to. He ain't even used it afterwards. But in this one, it says remember. And I tell you, the Most High is so good. Even in his word, he gives us warning, give us even understanding. Okay? Even here, why would he choose the word remember? All wise God. Why would he use remember? I don't think it's a mistake. Why y'all think he chose remember for this one? Not that we should get any of them, but because, beloved, usually you tell somebody remember something, gonna what? Forget. Okay.
So we don't forget.
Exactly. Unless I tell you, remember that you listen, you tell them to listen because you want them to know, right? You tell them remember because I know you're going to forget. So you're like, listen, remember my Sabbath day. Okay. You look around the world today, what do you see? They ain't remember, they forgot. And they be like, oh no, we know what the Sabbath day is. We just do Sunday and everything. This is why we have to understand these commandments. Because we already read up. If you're not doing the work of something, right? You ain't showing you acknowledging it. It ain't just saying, oh, I know which day the Sabbath day is. You have to what? You'll show it through your work. Okay? You don't even got to say, you know what I mean? I'm doing the Sabbath. Your work should show it. Okay? So he's telling us to remember because he already knew what? We're going to forget. Okay? So remember the Sabbath day. Don't just remember the acknowledging of, it's the seventh day of the week. He said, but what? To keep it holy. He's putting an emphasis behind it. It's not just the knowledge of it, but you have to keep it holy. There is a function that you must do. All right? Keeping it holy. He put a little separate, a special thing behind that. Because a lot of people think they're keeping the Sabbath, but they're not keeping it holy. To do the Sabbath, you must what? You're supposed to keep it holy. People can be right in church, right online on Sabbath day, and not be keeping it holy. Okay? But the command was to keep it holy. All right? Keep it preserved. Keep it as it's supposed to be kept. All right? So remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. And then he goes and walking it down. 6 days thou shalt labor and do all thy works. He said, you got 6 days. All right? Not 1 day, not 2 days, not 4 days. I gave you 6 days to do what? All thy work. You can do whatever you want. You can work as much as you can. If you want to work 8 hours, you can work 8 hours on 6 days. If you want to work 12, you can do 14. I don't care if you do 25 hours. You can do that on 6 days. Saying work. You just saying work. You can work. You got 6 days to work. Okay. Verse 10. But the seventh day is the Sabbath, all right, of Yahweh thy God. This day is set apart. Okay. In it thou shalt not do any work. Okay. So this is a day set aside, so you don't do no work. Thou, so ourselves, nor thy son, if we got sons, nor thy daughters, if we got daughters. And look how God is. He already knew, well, I'm not going to make my children work, but I'm going to hire somebody else. Nope. Thy maidservant can't work. Thy manservant, thy maidservant, the cattle ain't supposed to be working, nor even the strangers that's amongst us can't be working. All right. The strangers that is within thy gates. So he's just trying to show us, listen, this day is a rest. Sabbath, a rest. I don't want nobody having to work. I don't want you working. I don't want your children working. I don't want the stranger working. Okay. I don't even want your cattle working. Okay. This is a rest. Everybody is just chill. And you know the thing about it, beloved, you know why it's a spirit? Because we will cry about relaxing and chilling out every day of the week. Man, I just need a break. And he what? He sets a day for it. But guess the time we want to do everything. We want to do so much on what? Sabbath day. We think of everything we want to do, right? This day, you know what? We don't think about cleaning the whole week. We want to do our clean on the Sabbath. We want to do all your handyman stuff on the Sabbath, right? It shows that it's just funny because that's the spirit. If the Most High was saying we had to work every day, we'll be crying. Think about it, but we'll be crying. Lord, that you can at least give us a day to rest. He already knows what we'll be doing. He knows how his body is as well. He created because what the Sabbath was made for us. He made it for us that we get a break because we can burn out and you got to rest. And they even learned that even in like athletics and stuff. They actually mandate you can't work, you can't work out, do all that stuff 7 days a week, can't practice 7 days a week. No, they'll say, no, you can need a rest day. And they're seeing the benefits of having that rest day. You rest mentally and physically. Okay. Now, when people argue is everything work? Now, this work was dealing, and he's even giving you the context of some of this, is dealing with, working. All right. Work for someone, not if I brush my teeth or I wash, that's all work. No. Okay. Because people get to that. Oh, you can't turn light on because that's work. That's not what he's talking about. All right. Just like when we go to Leviticus 23 and he's looking at the work, it's talking about the man, so you working for somebody, those kind of things. Okay. Even feeding the cattle would not be work. But how do you work the cattle, right? They'll put the yoke around, and you can't do that. You giving that cattle a break. You can work that cattle 6 days a week, but the 7th day, the cattle's off. You cannot use them to plow and do those things. All right. But feeding them or giving them something to drink is not a violation of the Sabbath. That's not what he's trying to talk about. This is why I said we got to make sure we rightly divide it, because sometimes we could put extra things on there, add extra things that the Most High is not saying for us to do. Okay. And the only thing with cooking, because he spelt it out, I would have thought, oh, that don't matter. But since he spelt it out as a thing for work, that's why I would say, okay, we stay away from that. All right. But eating is not a work. Okay. But he was talking about the aspect of the cooking and all that stuff. All right. So, like I said, you just look at it, but he was trying to get us to what? I just want y'all to chill. I want y'all to relax. So once a week, he's like, listen, I want y'all to just take it easy. Don't do that. Don't try to find nothing to do. Don't try to get other people to do certain things. I want everybody just to relax. And if the whole world can be under that, think about this, the whole world will get rest. But even with the earth, it's designed to what? Get rest. We just working, and this is why I don't want to go too far that route. But when you understand even how we plant and did it, garden and things like that, he would tell us give it a rest. Right? You work it like 6 years. It ain't like 7 days. You're working like 6 years, then you give it a rest. But what that does, it actually almost repairs the ground. But because people don't give it a rest, they just yield it. It don't have that strength. They taking all the nutrients out of it. It's never getting a rest. So this is why they're pumping and doing all these other things to try to get it to be to what it was. But if they naturally gave it a rest, it will heal itself. All right. So even nature itself will show it. But man has become so greedy and things like that this is why it's killing the things that God had made. And even us, he made us wonderfully, right? These bodies, he made us wonderfully. Don't you think the creator of it will know what's best for it? Okay. So once again, he is doing this for us, beloved. Don't take it as a challenge. Oh my God, he just wants to. No, he's just saying, I want you to take it easy. I don't want you to have to worry about doing this and doing that. I want you to relax in this day. Okay. All right. Verse 11. 4 and 6 days, and now he's bringing it what? To himself, and he's going back to Genesis. 4 and 6 days, Yahweh made the heaven and earth, the sea, and all them that is it, all that in them is, and rested the 7th day. All right. So he's saying, listen, remember, back in creation, 6 days, everything was being done. Right. You know, the moon, the stars, the animal, the rivers, the seas, all these kind of things were being made, right? Work those 6 days. And then he said the 7th day, I said, nope, no work. And I seen some video, somebody trying to talk about that. I guess some young Muslim scholar. I'm not gonna put on all the Muslims, whatever. It was this isolated brother I'm gonna put it as, oh, God he gets tired and all that stuff, and never said he got tired. All right. The rest wasn't because, oh man, I need sleep. No. Okay, I guess they was trying to push that their God, even though we really understand it ain't supposed to be separate, but they're trying to put it as, the God of the Bible, he needs sleep, he get rest, he get weary. Ain't never say that. The actual scriptures tell you he don't get weary. He don't need rest. Okay. He was saying he rested from the work. Okay. We could not be tired and rest from some work. We ain't doing it today. That's resting from the work, not that you were tired. So this is what he's talking about rest. He's talking about I didn't do no work on it. That's why people should be just grabbing the Bible and just grabbing stuff and don't know what they're talking about, okay? He's talking about from the work. All right, wherefore Yahweh blessed the 7th day and hallowed it. So on this day, he blessed it and what? Set it apart, he hallowed it. Okay. What you got, sis?
Yes. To land back off of that verse you just read. And we all should know it, but let's go there. Genesis 2, 1 through 3, to show that he hallowed it and what hallow means, and sanctified it, what all that means. Set apart.
Oh, no problem. Brother Kai, you get. Oh yeah, behold. All right, Genesis chapter 2, and we're gonna do 1 through 3. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the hosts of them. All right, he finished out of creation. Verse 2. And on the seventh day, God ended his work which he had made. And he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. Verse 3. And God blessed the seventh day and what? Sanctified it or set it apart or hallowed it, however you want to break it down. Because, why did he do this on the seventh day? He sanctified it because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. So he set this and hallowed and made this day, the seventh day, special, right? Because this is where what? He set it apart even in the beginning. Okay. But you have something to add to it, sis?
They'd be like, oh, every day is a holy day. No, it's not. He set apart. You know, this is a good scripture to go. So no, he set apart this specific day and hallowed it. It didn't say he set apart day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4, day 5, day 6, day 6. He set apart day 7 and hallowed it.
Yes, you. Like I said, not if somebody don't truly know it, not getting on or making light of it. But it wouldn't make sense if you know the practicality of it, right? If I say that the seventh day, what do you say in Exodus? We can't do what on the seventh day? Work. If every day is literally Sabbath day, what is that saying? We can't work no day. Man don't work. We know man ain't eating. So it wouldn't make sense. I mean, we could never have a job. We can never do anything because every day is a Sabbath day. So see, when sometimes you just know a little principle or something, you see how certain things, it might make sense to somebody like, oh my, that don't know it, never really looked at it. Oh yeah. No, it don't make no sense. All right. However, the argument that a lot of them are making is that you're supposed to live holy every day. Yes, we agree with that. We even can take that right to Genesis. I was holy on all 7 days. Was he or was he not? To say one day he was unholy? No, he was holy every day. That wasn't the point he's making. He said, but I worked, I did something separate this 7th day. We're going to acknowledge that he did the separating on that 7th day. Holiness wasn't the separation. The Most High don't do, well, I want you to be holy these days and this. No, he never told you to take off a day. Well, I want you to be wicked, but on the feast day, you can be holy. No, that's not what he said. So being holy every day is supposed to be simplistic because that's the covenant. But the covenant is also what we're dealing with is saying what? The covenant is saying the 7th day is set apart. He hallowed it. Okay? What God has hallowed, man can't unhallow. Okay? They can't unsanctify. All right? So just showing us, beloved, once again, he's just going through all this explanation to say, listen, I made this day different than the other ones. How we keep the Sabbath day holy, right? The same way we should keep all days holy, as in we're doing what the Most High is saying, but the Most High has put other stipulations on the 7th day that's different than the other 6 days. And to keep the 7th day holy, we have to acknowledge that. Okay? Okay. Anybody else had anything they wanted to bring out from what we read so far? Okay. Verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee. I'm going to read all the way to 16. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor.
You are back, beloved.
Anybody? Oh, okay. Anybody got anything from 12 to 16? From honor thy father and thy mother down to verse 16. All right, sis Tima, what you got, sis? Get some order.
Well, yeah, what's that? I'm asking you guys, the family. I think it was a story about the Pharisees who was I know it, I think. When they did something for their mother and father one time, and it was like, oh, we no longer under that law of honor our mother and our father because we already did something or we gave them a gift. Kai, what am I talking about?
Matthew 15 and Mark 7.
Yeah, that's a good example. Of
it is Corbin. I think it is Corbin or something in that verse.
15,
yeah. I think.
Okay. Matthew 15.
My point is, we always supposed to honor, and you don't just do one thing and that tied you from, what I'm trying to say, guys. Family, y'all know, y'all got me.
15 or 4.
Y'all break down beautiful.
What verse, bro?
Verse 4.
Yes. Why I went down? Yes.
Okay. 4 and 5. It says, "For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father or mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death."
But just real quick, I'm sorry, brother God. Just in case somebody never know. Go to verse 2, just so y'all can see the context of this.
Why do thy disciples transgress it, the tradition of the elders? For they wash not their hands when they eat bread.
So this is I always say you got to understand the topic before you attack it. All right. So they're arguing about why they're not washing their hands before they eat. All right, which was a tradition that our forefathers have. Okay. This is a good thing to have. Christ is not arguing if it's good to wash your hands before you eat. But this was not something that the Most High said, if you don't do, now you're defiled, or now you're this. I want you to understand it too, because men, I'll put on the men, when these leaders, we start sometimes making up some stuff. All right. It might not be the cleanest thing. All right. But to say somebody got dirty hands, say somebody working, they got dirty hands, and they went and grabbed something to start eating, that'll make them in sin. But according to tradition of the father, they was putting it on that kind of level. So he's saying, listen, that's the tradition of the elders. Okay. But you asking why they doing this? Why have them, eating something that's violating the elders' tradition? He's like, now he's hitting them back. You doing things that's violating the commandments of God. Okay. All right, go ahead, Rob. He might slip away. Tell me when you get back.
No, I'm here.
Oh, I'm sorry. All right, you can keep reading verse 3, 4.
For God commanded, saying, Honor thy father and mother, and he that curseth father or mother, let him die the death. But ye say, whosoever shall say to his father or his mother, It is a gift, by whatsoever thou mayest be profited by me, and honor not his father or his mother, he shall be free. Thus have ye made the commandment of God of none effect by your tradition.
So you have to know some of the Old Testament stuff to kind of go with it as well. All right. So we see where God commanded, honor thy father and thy mother. So it's right from Exodus 20. So to honor thy father and thy mother. Then had no stipulations. Okay, you're supposed to honor them. But they were going out there kind of putting stipulations and things with it. He that curseth father and mother, let him die to death. That's another commandment. It's not Exodus 20. It might be like a chapter 2 from it though. But he talks about if somebody cursed mother and father, let them die to death. All right, because that's showing ultimate disrespect. A child start, disrespecting their own parents, usually got a very defiant spirit. And that usually didn't come out of nowhere. Okay. So that was the thing. But they saying, but ye say, all right, this was a commandment. This is what the father told you to do. But you over there saying what? Whosoever shall say father and mother is a gift, by whomsoever thou mightest be profited by me, and honor not his father and mother shall be free. But y'all trying to put it like they have stipulation to dishonor things and it'll be okay. Making, this is what he's saying, listen to the point. Made the commandments of God of what? Of none effect. Not that they're not effect, but what? You made them like they're nothing or they're vain because of what? Your traditions. When there's a tradition that makes you make the commandments of God vain or irrelevant or minimize it to its impact or power, that's when that tradition needs to be thrown away. Okay? So he's saying, nope. Commandments didn't say that, but y'all traditions is making people feel that they can what? Dishonor their mother and father. Okay? So he said, y'all worry about me going against the tradition of elders. Y'all going against the commandments of the Most High. Who should be more worried or scared? Okay. All right. Was that everything in that one, sis? I'm not sure how far you want to go. think we're good then.
Kind, big kind. All praise to the Most High at the water.
The water, all praises, all praises. All right. Anybody else got anything? And remember, this was also in another scripture. I think Paul said, I can't tell you exactly off the top of my head, but also he said, honor our father and mother was like the first command with promise. Okay. So Paul do make reference to that. So people try to throw the commandments, you can go right to that because Paul directly talks about it. So honor thy father and thy mother, because look at the second part. That thy days may be long upon the land which Yahweh thy God hath given thee. So this was the promise was what? You will get longer days upon that land. Okay, because everybody's entering the covenant, mother and father will be entering the covenant, and they're supposed to be what? Doing the things of the Most High and teaching the children. So if they're doing the things of the Most High and teaching it to the children, when the children are being defiant to their mother and father, who are they truly being defiant to? The Most High God. That's why the Most High God is talking about, all right, you're going to kill them. This ain't no kids being, kids. Kids they do stupid stuff. And not talking about, they make a mistake or they lie. This is talking a little deeper than that, beloved. All right. They ain't just wiping out kids like that. All right. But the parents can't control them. They being defiant. They just can't listen or do the reason. That's what you're doing. Okay. So it was a little more to it. But honor thy father and thy mother. When we honor our father and mother, we're showing honor to what? The Most High God. That's what? It's supposed to preserve us. The commandments, this is why I said the commandments preserve us. Because your mother and father be telling you the things you're supposed to be doing. Mm-hmm. They're giving you wisdom. They're giving you knowledge. They're telling you, don't do that. All right, this is good, right? If you even look at the animal world, the mother and father, they kind of show the child what to eat and what not to eat. Now, the child being disobedient, they can eat some harmful stuff, some stuff that can take away from their life or can kill them literally. But let's flip it spiritually, beloved. Mother and father are supposed to feed the children spiritually as well as naturally. You're supposed to feed them correct things. And that will prevent them from what? Dealing with things that's not of God. So this will naturally preserve the child. All right. If we in our own land, everything, see, we wouldn't even be dealing, we're in such a wicked world right now, but we wouldn't even be dealing even how we're getting food and stuff. They put all this crap and everything. It's literally killing us. They even acknowledge and say that it is. But see, when we was under the tutelage of the Most High, right, doing the laws, commandments, how it's supposed to be done, we don't have to worry about that. We honor our mother, our father. We've been taking care of our vessel, our bodies. Okay. But the more you get into sin, the more desecration, the more abominable things we are doing to our bodies. Okay. So this is where that honor our father, the days may be prolonged. Okay. It's always going back to the Most High. To understand it, and ain't the mother father, it's what the knowledge and doctrine that they're giving you that they got from the Most High. That's what's preserving you. All right, His word is preserving us. Okay. Anybody got anything else from 13 to 16? All right. Kill. Everybody should know what kind of other versions you see, like murder. The unlawful taking life. So you can do that naturally, all right? Taking somebody's life. You can also do it spiritually, okay? Killing somebody, you can kill with the tongue, right? So you're saying hurtful things and everything, certain things, you can kill somebody that way, okay? This is why we have to be mindful of what we're saying, what we're doing, all right? So thou should not kill, or even wanting to kill somebody can be falling under this when you're dealing with the spirit, okay? Oh, I wish they was dead. You got to check that spirit because that ain't the spirit of God dwelling in you. Okay, thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery. All right, so literally committing adultery, dealing with somebody's wife, husband, those kind of things, they be committing adultery. And also that can be done on a spiritual level. All right, when we going away from the Most High and dealing with other gods, other different entities. Okay, that's a form of spiritual adultery. Okay, that's why he says he's a jealous God. So when you start having something else, these idols and everything, oh, this is God. All right, this is a God. This is a God. Guess what? He said, I'm jealous of that. Okay, and that's why he hit us. And why it was hitting us? Because we entered into the covenant. We said we're going to serve. This is going to be my God. This is going to, you get into that vow with that person, right? That wife saying, husband, I love you. You're going to be my man. Okay. Now, when you start talking to some other dude, you get the wrath of what? The husband. But somebody that's not married to the husband, that's what they're going to do. I'm not proving it, but that's for them. But you enter into the covenant, all right? So that's why it's hitting us. Okay, so we really commit that spiritual fornication. And thou shalt not steal, same thing. It can be naturally with money, taking what's not yours. Basically, I look at that, taking something that's not yours, or something that the Most High didn't give you, all right, or proof for you to get, all right? So stealing can be in that aspect. Bearing false witness, okay? Lying, okay? We shouldn't be lying to our neighbor, okay? Nobody should be bribing us or anything like that. It should be nope, we don't lie to our neighbors. We don't make a false accusation, anything like that. Verse 17. I didn't read 17. All right, you can read verse 17, bro.
Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's.
So no coveting, all right? It's almost, you can almost look at it like a form of stealing, but you should not be desiring what somebody else has. Right now, there's certain things when we talk about the positive stuff. Somebody got, they got the spirit of faith. Oh, I would love to have more faith. No, that's inspirational things. That's okay to be inspired. All right, but now when you're coveting it, right, you over there taking it to a different level. You want to take what's theirs. Okay, you're not asking the Most High what He wants you to do. You like, no, this is what I want to do. What they got, what they doing. That's what I want to be. Okay, you see a lot of people make a mess of that. This is why Paul even give you a little wisdom with the bishop. He said, listen, desire the office of a bishop. You desire a good thing, right? He ain't never knocked you like, nah, that's a good desire. But then he started walking down what? Bishop, there must be blah, 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 blah. And guess what? A lot of them qualifications, a lot of people that went in for that start dropping off like flies when you start going there, okay? But desiring to be spiritual, all those kind of things, that's great, right? But when you coveting, it's like a deeper form of, kind of lusting after and going it by any means necessary, right? You covet somebody's wife, I got to have her. And I go by any means to have her. See, you in a whole different realm, okay? Just by saying, that's not coveting our neighbor's house. So wherever they have, they got their dwelling place, don't be coveting it. Because a lot of times we start coveting, start lusting after, and then what? We start putting something into motion. It's a process, beloved. It's what James was talking about. How sin, kind of blossoms up. You look, desire, you keep going in with that desire, and then what? You're going to do that desire, and then now you what? You in that sin. Okay? So don't covet the neighbor's house. Don't covet thy neighbor's wife, nor what? His manservant, the servant they have, or the maid servant they have, nor his ox, nor his belongings, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. If it's your neighbor's, it's theirs. Nope, that's my neighbor's. All right. You can be inspired by it. You can say that's nice, but what they have is theirs. Do not be trying to desire it. Okay. If you desire, like I said, it's the unhealthy version of lusting and trying to get. Okay. But if somebody got it, oh man, I love y'all marriage and everything. I wish I get a partner like you. That's fine. But when you try to get their partner, their wife or husband, now it's a different aspect. Okay. Anybody else have anything they want to add to verse 17? All right, brother. Verse 18. Let's get 3 verses from there.
And all the people saw the thunderings and the lightnings and the noise of the trumpet and the mountain smoking. And when the people saw it, they were moved and stood afar off. And they said unto Moses, Speak thou with us, and we will hear. But let not God speak with us, lest we die. And Moses said unto the people, Fear not, for God is come to prove you, and that his fear may be before your faces, that ye sin not.
Yeah. See, we ask for stuff, but we don't want it. All right. So he gave it. Remember, we want to hear from him. Y'all didn't want to believe. Y'all thought Moses was moving on his own accord. All right. People do that. They believe the man of God, and then something he don't do something or say something I agree with. Oh, see, he ain't no man of God. He just be saying stuff. And God ain't using him. See, Well, I want to hear from God. When I hear from God myself, okay. You think it's all nice now when God coming, because that presence of righteousness is what can really shake people, right? That presence is truth. It's very powerful, all right? Just like a light coming in when you've been in darkness so long, and then that a bright light coming in, it almost blinds you. That's how it be. Okay. So he said he coming in, he's saying that they saw the thunder and the lightning, and that's scary being right there, and that thing lightning striking right next to you. And they said the mountain started smoking. The people seen this stuff, and us, we started running. All right, we didn't investigate, we didn't want to see no more. They scared us to death, so we started running. Okay, we stood, we moved ourselves, and Moses like, all right, they're like, Moses, you speak to us. We'll hear you. Listen, Moses, you don't got to bring him. Don't bring boss man out. Nah. We believe you. Just speak to us. All right, we speak to you. You speak to him, but we don't want to deal with him. All right. They wanted to deal with him before this. Okay. And he said, excuse me, but let not God speak with us, lest we die. They were so scared. They thought they was going to die. Okay. And so the Most High shook them up. He knew what it was going to do. The Most High knew what it was going to do. But this is sometimes the thing that can stay in your mind. When you fear something, it stays in your mind. Trembles in your mind. You don't want the relationship to stay as, I'm just so scared. But that sticks in your mind, that fear. Okay. You used to have a saying, my old teacher used to say that, never cross. He's like, I cross people I love. I never cross somebody I fear. Right. So that's something, even just to think about, beloved. Okay. So we got real scared. I love the Bible. It was honest. We got scared. And then this is what Moses is saying, the response to it. Fear not. And I tell you a lot of times, look at the wording that they use all the time. They always say fear. Even when they start getting scared with the angel and everything, be like, listen, fear not. Don't be afraid. They try to comfort them. I don't want you to be in the spirit of fear, because you're not going to understand when you're in fear. You don't hear everything correctly. You don't process it all correctly. This is why I'm talking about being sober-minded. It's not just, don't drink it. No, it's a certain mindset. With a sober mind, you're hearing things correctly. You're taking in correctly. Okay? Sometimes when we're off or we're upset, we're not hearing the whole message correctly. Or we're just hearing what we want to hear. Or we're just hearing to respond. Right? But that's why you got to calm down. Calm your spirit. And now you'll be able to receive. So he said, fear not. For God is come to what? Prove you. Remember the same thing he used a couple of chapters ago, to prove if you'll walk in my laws not. He's coming to prove you. He wants you to understand what? And that his fear may be before your face. Why is he doing that? That ye sin not. The whole point is what? That you don't sin. I'm going to come in this mag too. I'm going to be dramatic like this, because you could have came in a calmer way, but I'm going to be this dramatic because you will never forget how I came. And believe me, beloved, even though they went off, they remembered that day of what God did. Okay. All right. Let's keep going. Verse 21. Let's do 3 more verses.
And the people stood afar off, and Moses drew near unto the thick darkness where God was. And Yahweh said unto Moses, thus thou shalt say unto the children of Israel, ye have seen that I have talked with you from heaven. Ye shall not make with me gods of silver, neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. An altar of earth thou shalt make unto me, and shalt sacrifice thereon thy burnt offerings and thy peace offerings, thy sheep and thine oxen. In all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee, and I will bless thee.
Let's finish it up.
And if thou wilt make me an altar of stone, thou shalt not build it of hewn stone. For if thou lift up thy tool upon it, thou hast polluted it. Neither shalt thou go up by steps unto my altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon.
All right. And so he walked it down. All right. Moses went back, talked to him. And remember, it was in the cloud, so that there was that thick darkness. And he said, listen, tell them. I still want you to tell them. You know, he's scared. I want you to tell them, you have seen that I talked with you from heaven. All right. You witnessed this. All right. So don't you be making no gods of silver. Neither shall ye make unto you gods of gold. Why is he saying this, beloved? I want you to understand what God does. He will tell you something because this is exactly what you're going to do. We already read it earlier. In Exodus about 32, 34, what's happening? They're making a golden calf. He keep reiterating this point. Ye shall not make, because God is not trying to trick us, beloved. He's not making this stuff hard. We make it complicated. He don't. He loves us. He does exactly what this is what you need to do. God knows what he needs to feel loved, all that stuff. He knows what he wants. He knows the praise he wants. You do not need to figure it out. He knows how he wants to be praised. And he what? He literally written it down for us. So if you desire to be pleased and all that stuff, just look at what he says. You don't want you trying to think and do all this freestyle and try to do things. He says exactly what he wants. Okay. So they made an altar, all right, and of course they made the altar because this is how we will sacrifice. Okay, we'll sacrifice, and this is supposed to be a form of offering things to our God. Okay, literally we can't bring stuff to him. Remember, he's in heaven, all those kind of things, right? So the smoke is kind of showing that spiritual aspect of going up there, going into a realm. Okay, so the sacrifice, this is what he brings. They're on burnt offerings, all right? There's different offerings. Peace offering, all right? With thy sheep and thy oxen, in all the places where I record my name. That's a good point. In all the places where I record my name, I will come unto thee and I will bless thee. Okay? So wherever he's at, and he could be in multiple, I know we got Jerusalem, that's one of the big, but Most High is not just limited to Jerusalem. Okay, he never said, I'm just limited to Jerusalem. He's doing all this work outside of Jerusalem and everything. He's doing all these miracles and stuff. So why are people trying to just limit him to Jerusalem? Okay. Why Christ comes to see not in this mountain. You no longer have to limit them to just this mountain, just in Jerusalem, just in this spot, but the true worshipers, right? Because, beloved, let me see if we catch it. He said the true worshipers can worship in the spirit and truth, all right? So he's telling that woman, don't think it's just in this mountain. Don't get caught up on this mountain, this place. But the true worshipers can worship in spirit and truth. Brother Kai, read from right here, in all places. Let's see if we can look at something. If you're there, you might have stepped away.
Salakia.
Oh.
And in all places where I record my name, I will come unto thee and I will bless thee.
Yeah, Sister Tima talked about a name, right? And she said the name was what? What was the name?
Israel.
That's recorded on what? Everybody that entered into that covenant. So we look at, he's talking about some natural stuff here, but he also, there's some spiritual things we can look at. In all places where I what? Record my name. He recorded his name in what? In us. We got his spirit. All right? Anybody, the Holy Ghost, I will come. He said, I will not leave you comfortless. What did he say? I will come. Why? Because you're his. Recorded his name. He owns us.
Come.
All places by recording it. So it don't matter where you go. See, our forefathers just thought it was the place and so caught up on the place. No, when you being right, when you fix yourself, he will come to you. This is why some of the prophets, everything, they wasn't always in Jerusalem. They can be in certain captivities, but he can still find you there.
Mm-hmm.
Even David said, if I made my bed in hell, he'll find me there. If I had wings like a dove and flew in the sky, he'll find me there.
Mm-hmm.
He said, there's no way I can go that I can escape God. If you can understand that, then what are you talking about? You can't do something because you're over here, over there. You don't understand our God. The whole earth is his footstool. Okay? All right. And if thou will make me an altar of stone, thou should not build of it a hewn stone. All right. So you know what, you kind of manipulate him, putting your manly touches all on it, because you're gonna, if you lift up the tool upon it, thou shalt pollute it. All right. So he didn't want you taking a tool and chiseling out and making it he wants you to just grab the stuff and put it in place. Okay. Showing he don't want no GMO doctrine. He didn't want no man messing, tampering with his diet. He want that thing perfect. Okay. His kind of offering, not the offering you want to give. Verse 26, neither shall thou go up by steps unto my altar, that thy nakedness be not discovered thereon. Okay. It can be twofold, but I'll just take it in the simplest form. All right. Definitely when we're offering everything, we want to be covered, literally being covered naturally. All right. And covered also the spirit with things as well. Okay. But even with our garments, when you look at some of the priests, we will have certain garments, so we won't be like that. All right. So don't want no nakedness, but the spiritual form of nakedness is being exposed, and that happens when we, go away from sin. Okay. Start doing sin, we start to be exposed, and that spiritual uncoverness is where we feel ashamed. And this is what happened even in the garden, right? They felt ashamed when when that sin came in. The same thing with us. When we sin, we get what? We can be naked, be exposed, we be embarrassed, confounded, all those kind of things. The spirits come in when we go off. Okay. If that happens, you just pray the Most High that what? Lord, forgive me. Please come and cover me with your spirit. Okay. I think Isaiah 30 and verse 1 might touch on it as well. All right. But anybody got anything to add to this chapter before we close out? We good. All right. Beloved, Sister Tima, what you got, sis?
One last thing to land back on that spirit that will bring us to repentance. Exit, no, what's that? Sirach 4. It's one of my favorite ones. 4 and 21. Well, 20 and 21.
Right.
Observe the opportunity and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul, for there is a shame that bringeth sin, and there is a shame which is glory and grace.
Mm-hmm. It's cool. Yeah. And there's definitely, I love that the scriptures kind of give you both sides of everything, right? Because you can use certain things as an opportunity, right? Even when you get embarrassed, you get exposed, you can use that as an opportunity to what? To cry to the Most High and what? Bring honor to the situation. Or you can use that to say, you know what, I ain't doing, I'm embarrassed, I'm ashamed, I'm just gonna, stay in this pity. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So, observe, I even start observe the opportunity. I love that aspect of it. Right. Look at these things, beloved, when we're going through things that seem tough and everything, look for the opportunity and look for the opportunity of how God can get praised. And sometimes that can bring the comfort. Like I said, sometimes we don't know what God is doing. And because we're so reliant on these natural eyes, it can really discourage us. These natural eyes can really think, God has forsaken me. I don't know what I did. And sometimes you didn't do nothing. You just didn't pray, say, Lord, give me understanding. And if you're doing everything, Lord, if there's something I'm missing or you want me to, let me know, teach me. I want to do your will. And if you ain't doing nothing, like he ain't give you nothing, he ain't give no ancient, and you doing everything right, just continue doing what's right. Sometimes he's maneuvering things for his glory. Sometimes it ain't because somebody wrong, but we so fashioned to think that, okay, something got to be wrong. Sin had to happen. No, something is just for his glory. Okay, so look for the opportunity. Well, God, what are you doing that you can get the praise? God, I know that something's happened. I don't know what's happening, but let me look for a way that you can still get the praise, honor, and glory. All right. Sis, was there anything you wanted to bring out in this verse? I just realized I hijacked it a little bit.
No, you didn't hijack it. All praise to the Most High. Kind, that was it. It's self-explanatory, but kind, the water. All praise to the Most High.
Wow. All right. Anybody else had anything to add? Exodus chapter 20. We good. All right. If that will be all, the brother may pray us out.
All praise to the Most High. Great class. Finish out with Yahweh's prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done in earth as it is in heaven. I will give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us of our debts, as we forgive our debtors, and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory forever. In Yahweh's precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.